Good evening. So I'm going to be doing a video, the first video of the year for chapter 3. This is on personal and social development. I'm using myself as a case study throughout most of what I will be sharing with you tonight. And then at the very end, I am taking into consideration the teacher perspective now that I'm in college and have developed past a certain number of these issues. Basically like what it means to me to be able to now have the power, if you will, to create the safe spaces in classrooms for students like me to be able to express themselves freely. So this is a poem that I wrote dealing with concepts of personal and social development, specifically and most notably the development of a sense of self. So I'm going to be reading, hence, yeah, sorry. Anyway, thank you. And so for this video, I'd like to share a piece of me that deals with the complexity of living with a double-edged sword of duplicity, peau noire, masque blanc. I've mastered 3 languages onto my tongue to get the white man to see that I exceed beyond his low standards preordained for me, to show off to my white teachers that I was more literate than they would ever be, yet they still had the caucasity to sneer down at me. I was at the risk of ostracization from my people and my society. I am the 10% that is supposed to succeed. I'm trying to deal with what's real and get back to my community, my personal development and social development from the polluted waters of my fear-ridden womb. I am the fruit of my mother, and I sing a 3/5 tune. I compromise my personality to make it easier for you. My temperament is temperamental, and I wonder how many other students of color are silenced in English classrooms, and I wonder how, in this hostile environment with daily interactions with this subverted violence, how I developed an effortful? So this is the anxiety I'm dealing with. It's fine. I developed an effortful control to not stand up on my 8th grade seat and demand why we kept learning about these white people. Why history never seemed to mention me, and I'm trying to make sense of my decade-old wounds, results of authoritative parenting. He tried to bake my spirit and shove his milk down my throat. I tried to make sense of my own maltreatment physically at his hands and psychologically with the systems under the systems of oppression. For me, there was no socialization outside of my books. And this culture shock between us 3, the school system, my burgeoning self, and Anthony, created a neuroticism in an agreeably extroverted child. I'm trying to make sense of it. So I take this thing called psychology and I pair it with the acute understanding of history so I can develop myself, but this damn anxiety got me all kinds of fucked up. And my own self-efficacy compromised by being 3/5 less a black woman with a white man's education, I was driven to insanity, trying to deal with the cognitive dissonance that I faced with each class's subverted his hostility. This is the world children of color see. But it's up to me in combating my biases, building up my students' self-efficacy, loving them like nobody loved me, creating safe spaces where they can explore their dual identities.